What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated, two-division world champion, currently the WBC reigning middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Jermall Lions Only Charlo. He responds to the victory that undefeated, two-time super middleweight WBC Mexican world champion superstar boxer David Benavidez got over Ronald Ellis last night. He got 11th round TKO over Ronald Ellis. The referee stopped the fight. With that said, David Benavidez, he moves to 24-0, 21 wins by way of knockout. He's 24 years of age. He stands at 6'2" with a 77-inch arm reach. And we last saw him in the ring yesterday against Ronald Ellis. Ronald Ellis was 18-1 with 2 draws. With that said, there has been an ongoing saga between Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez. Jermall Charlo once was asked about a possibility of going up to 168 super middleweight. He campaigns at 160 middleweight and facing off against David Benavidez. And Jermall Charlo, he said that he would go up to 168, knock out David Benavidez in impressive fashion, and he didn't care about the weight. The weight wasn't an issue. Since then, Jermall Charlo, he has stated that, he's not a 168-pounder. He's a 160-pounder. Essentially, he's saying that, he's not really interested in facing off against David Benavidez. With that said, Jermall Charlo, 31 wins, no losses, 22 wins by way of knockout. He's 30 years of age, stands at 6 feet tall with a 73-inch arm reach, okay? So David Benavidez, if they do fight, he will have a 2-inch height advantage and a 3-inch arm reach advantage over Jermall Charlo, and he is 6 years younger or 5 years younger than Jermall Charlo. With that said, Jermall Charlo, he responded to the victory over Ronald Ellis, and he just laughed. He essentially clowned the victory. He wasn't impressed by the victory. Jermall Charlo, he had stated in a live stream he did via his social media that if David Benavidez should fight him in a catchweight, David Benavidez should wait because he's too young. He said that, he didn't want to fight anybody who was under 25 years of age. So David Benavidez, he feels like Jermall Charlo is essentially making up reasonings for not fighting David Benavidez. So he's creating roadblocks according to David Benavidez. With that said, Jermall Charlo, last time we saw him in the ring was September 26th when he beat CL0WNS via unanimous decision in impressive fashion. In my opinion, that was the biggest fight of his career, or should I say the toughest fight of his career, okay? So David Benavidez, he says that he's ready for Jermall Charlo. The fight take place in September. Now, like I said, Jermall Charlo's been inactive. Last time he fought was September 26th of 2020. So he's been out the ring for quite some time, 6 months to be exact. September, October, November, December, January, February, March. We in March. So he's been out the ring for 6 months now. There's no true opponent in the foreseeable future that's a viable opponent after he done stepped up to fight CL0WNS and headline his first pay-per-view card. Now the fans, they're going to want to see Jermall Charlo up against the upper echelon in the sport of boxing, in and around his weight class, okay? We know Jermall Charlo has been trying to land and secure a showdown with 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer who is currently the unified WBC, WBA super middleweight world champion Canelo Alvarez. With that said, they had an opportunity to fight at 154. Canelo Alvarez didn't take the opportunity. He moved up to 160. Jermall Charlo, he then became Canelo Alvarez mandatory at 160, and Canelo Alvarez then petitioned to be franchised by the sanction body, the WBC, and President Mauricio Sulaiman, who granted him such, which saw Jermall Charlo elevated to the super champion, and Canelo Alvarez essentially became the franchise champion. Since then, Canelo Alvarez, he's moved up to 168. He beat Rocky Fielding, and now he has beaten Caleb Smith for the world titles, WBA titles, and the vacant WBC title that was vacated by David Benavidez on the scale. He lost it on the scale, and prior to that, he lost it to his actions outside the ring. So he's lost his belt twice, and none of the times in the ring. So with that said, Canelo Alvarez, he fought and won those titles. He also went up to 175 and beat Sergey Crusher Kovalev, who was the WBO's 175 light heavyweight world champion. Canelo Alvarez knocked him out. So he's a 4 division world champion. But with that said, Jermall Charlo, this is how this came about, because Jermall Charlo was asked about going up to 168 and fighting Canelo, and he says, I'll definitely go up to 168 and fight Canelo Alvarez. And then the fans and the media started to ask him, well, if you're going to go up to 168 and fight Canelo Alvarez, what about fighting the other best opposition up at 168, like David Benavidez? And that's when Jermall Charlo, he stated that he would knock out David Benavidez because he lacks defense and he can't continue to take what Jermall Charlo is going to dish out. He says, so I believe that he's too young. I would go up to 168 and knock him out. And then, the reporter asked Jermall Charlo, well, he's at 168 though. He said, I don't care about weight. I'll go up to 168 and knock him out. David Benavidez, he got wind of this, and David Benavidez, he stated, if that's the case, then put your money where your mouth is. In September, come up to 168 and let's make it happen. And then, we got the ongoing saga. So now Jermall Charlo, he's letting it be known. He went to PBC's website and he let it be known that he wasn't impressed by the victory over Ronald Ellis for David Benavidez. Was it the most impressive victory for David Benavidez? No. But David Benavidez is active. Not surprised. He put a lot of pressure on you physically and mentally. He starts to break his opponents down, very fast hands. He's very big. He starts to walk you down. He starts to put a lot of pressure on you. He has power in both hands. And that's ultimately what took place with Ronald Ellis, as it normally does with most of David Benavidez's opponents. Ronald Graville, Anthony Durrell, he starts to put this, he's relentless with his pressure, and he starts to break you down. He doesn't have the best defense in the world. He's not the most flashy guy, but he gets the job done, okay? So with that said, David Benavidez, he says, if me and Jermall Charlo fought, that would be, action-packed fight. That would be a fight of the year fight. The rubber's going to meet the road. He said that now, after in his post-fight, he said that's his focus. He wants to land the fight with Jermall Charlo. He believes that will catapult either him or Jermall Charlo to the next level that they want to be and secure that fight with Canelo Alvarez. And the fans, they're starting to question Jermall Charlo and say, well, if you're going to go to 168 and fight Canelo Alvarez, where you would have the size advantage, okay, then you should go to 168 and fight David Benavidez as well. Canelo Alvarez stands at 5'8" with a 78-inch arm reach, okay? So Jermall Charlo is going to have 3 to 4 inch height advantage over Canelo Alvarez, and he's going to have a 4-inch arm reach advantage over Canelo Alvarez. Ironically, that's the similar advantages David Benavidez will have over Jermall Charlo. Not as much though, because Canelo Alvarez is at 5'8", Jermall Charlo is at 6 feet tall, so it's a 4-inch height advantage. He has a 70-inch arm reach, and Jermall Charlo has a 74-inch arm reach, so he has a 4-inch arm reach. David Benavidez is at 6'2", so he's going to have a 2-inch height advantage over Jermall Charlo and a 3-inch arm reach advantage over Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo is seen as a very, very big middleweight. He was seen as a very big junior middleweight. Most people didn't even understand how he made junior middleweight, 154 pounds. And he stated that he was, running out of time at junior middleweight at 154 pounds because he was just simply too big and outgrowing the division. And if you look at him, he's normally has the size advantage. Even in his fight with CL0WNS, he had the size advantage, okay? He's just a naturally bigger guy than his opponents. So everybody wants to see him in the ring with David Benavidez. There's no back down in Jermall Charlo. There's no back down in David Benavidez. They're both action-packed. I believe that Jermall Charlo is sharper. I believe that he's more technical. He's more technically sound. He's more defensively sound. He's sharper with his punches. He's more accurate. And I think that he has a great chance of winning this fight. I don't believe that David Benavidez can continue to take the punches like he took. Ronald Ellis last night was landing some big, clean punches. He just didn't have much power to truly affect David Benavidez. Neither did guys like Ronald Graville or Anthony Durrell. I believe that Jermall Charlo, he has more power than both of those, and all of those guys. He's more accurate. He's more precise and more technical. So I think it's the punches that David Benavidez won't see coming that'll ultimately affect him. If you look at CL0WNS, Jermall Charlo's last opponent, he was 5'9" with a 67.5-inch arm reach, okay? So he was the much smaller guy in the ring. And so, people just want to see Jermall Charlo in the ring with the upper echelon of in the sport of boxing, right? He had a size advantage over Brandon Adams. He had a size advantage over Dennis Hogan. He had a size advantage over Matt Korobov. He had a size advantage over Sebastian Hyland, Julian J. Rock Williams, Austin Trout. He's just a bigger guy, okay? So for the first time, Jermall Charlo would be in the ring with somebody that has the size advantage over him. He would be at a size disadvantage. And most people, they just want to see how Jermall Charlo fares with the pressure, the continuous, relentless style of David Benavidez. And this is a huge fight. This would supersede his fight with Sergey Derevyanchenko. This actually would be the second biggest fight in the sport of boxing, I believe, behind only Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight. So hopefully it gets done. Jermall Charlo, he clowns David Benavidez, laughs at him, said he wasn't impressed with his performance. But let's see if he actually takes the fight in September. And like I said, obviously to go up to 168, I would like to see Jermall Charlo get acclimated to the division. The perfect fight, in my opinion, is Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs, they have history. There's a storyline. Danny Jacobs recently moved up to 168, and he's not even a natural 168 pounder. And he hasn't fought a natural 168 pounder. If you look at Danny Jacobs' last couple of fights, he fought against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and he fought against Gabe Rosado. Both guys fought at 154 and 160 in their careers. Now both guys fight at 168. So they're not even full-fledged super middleweights themselves. So, I think it would be a great fight between Danny Jacobs and Jermall Charlo. They had a video when it came face-to-face. It went viral. So I just believe that it just makes sense. Lets him get acclimated 168 pounds. He gets past Danny Jacobs. I believe Danny Jacobs' power is equal to that of David Benavidez, if not more. He's just not as big as David Benavidez. Danny Jacobs stands at 6 feet tall with a 74-inch arm reach. So he's very similar in size to Jermall Charlo and Danny Jacobs. But the difference is Danny Jacobs has, I believe, more power than Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez. So I believe that would be a great test for him. He get past Danny Jacobs. He didn't look that great in his fight against Gabe Rosado. He would be the favorite, that being Jermall Charlo. And that makes for a massive showdown between David Benavidez and Jermall Charlo. So let's see how this fares and unfolds. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.